where today we're going to be exploring a few reasons why Donald Trump might have picked JD Vance as his vice presidential running mate. If you're just joining us here, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that every time we go live, YouTube can let you know, all right? And make sure you hit the bell icon so that you get the notification as well. All right. So I'm gonna give it a few seconds here so that a few people join in. But essentially, who is JD Vance? We'll break it down into a few things here. JD Vance essentially is a populist. He's essentially speaking to the white working class that feel they have been abandoned by their government. And his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, which he dropped in 2016, really makes a point to speak to the ordinary man, the everyday man, so to speak, right? So that's his angle, and that's what he's trying to go for. Okay, so just go ahead and let a few people join the chat right here. But here at Black Gentleman Media, we're going to explore everything from politics, economics, culture, um, sports, and there are no boundaries here. So we feel we have an edge in that regard because we haven't established a niche yet. So what I plan to do is give you as much content that is relevant and appealing as well. So we're now maybe a couple days after the attempted assassination of um, the former president, Donald Trump, and the reactions have been mixed, I would say. A lot of people calling for unity, rightfully so, because really political violence in any form really should be frowned upon. But I think it's interesting that, now I would like to know actually if Donald Trump made his pick earlier or obviously he made a pick. He said he had made his pick a long time ago, but he wasn't going to tell anyone. So I wonder if the shooting didn't happen, if he would have still picked JD Vance, or was it just kind of like a situation where he had no choice because he already made the decision a long time ago, right? Um, so who is JD Vance? JD Vance is, like I said, he speaks directly to the populist group. He speaks to, let me know if you guys can hear me because I'd rather be outside. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3. It's kind of hot outside. I'm gonna stay inside. But yeah, like I was saying, we'll let a few people join the chat again, so that we can have a more encompassing conversation, and I have more people in the conversation. That's always good. Um, let me see if I can get a good angle here, guys. Patience, a little bit of patience. Um, but like I was saying, JD Vance really he speaks to the white working class. Um, I saw a few reports that I guess reports that say that he speaks to an oppressed class in the white working class, which I think has to be satire, right? It has to just be hilarious to even hear of. But that's essentially the plan, right? Their plan is to say the white working class in America have been forgotten, and what they're going to do is they want to give them a voice, right? Because they believe that they've been hard done by the government. They're being forgotten. Again, these are the same. Let me read the chat. Competition for resources, history repeats itself. Um, yeah, so basically they believe. Let's go back to 2016. The same rhetoric that got Donald Trump elected, that factories are leaving the United States, jobs are leaving the United States, immigration is taking over, right? The same rhetoric that I'm sure by now, if you've been paying attention, you're aware of. But essentially, what JD Vance wants to do is give the regular guy uh, a voice, right? And I think this works very much to Trump's advantage because the most pressing matter in this whole conversation or in this whole debate or in this whole election is a matter of age. Both people at the top of the ticket are old, point blank period. They're just old, right? So what JD Vance does is he brings a fresh take, um, maybe not a fresh take, but a fresh face, a newer face, a younger face, right? So that's what is really gonna work in self-preservation first. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, self-preservation first. But yeah, we just hope to give you more content, guys. So commenting, liking the video, subscribing, these things help massively so that I know that I'm providing you some good content. Okay, so if you're just joining me, please do me a favor, go ahead and like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon as well so that every time I drop a video or I go live like this, YouTube will let you know. Okay. But let's get back to it. Like I was saying, the biggest topic really in this election is age, right? Everybody's talking about how Joe Biden is too old. He doesn't know where he is. But we also forget that although Donald Trump seems vibrant, seems like he is on top of things, he too is old, right? So the vice presidential pick, of JD Vance makes a lot of sense if you're trying to counter that argument, right? Because now you have somebody that's younger, you have somebody that you can go in front of the younger population and say, hey, I have somebody on my side that thinks like you. And you know, Trump is a type of person. I saw him go on like, what's their name? Full Send podcast, right? He's the type of person who talks to the regular person. He's been on a lot of podcasts that I think it's the Full Send podcast. He's been on a lot of podcasts that you probably wouldn't expect the former president of the United States to be on, right? Just kind of talking smack with the boys, kind of. And Trump kind of has that aura where you feel like you could just sit down with him and talk shit, kind of, right? So JD Vance is going to add to that allure and get more people on his side. If you ask me, the election was over after that picture, right? After Donald Trump survived the assassination attempt, I think the election was over right then and there. Because, I mean, even if you don't like Donald Trump, surviving an assassination attempt, it's kind of like wow, right? It's just like, man, you really love this country, and to be defiant in the moment, right? Not kind of like cower or, you know, be scared. He didn't show an ounce of fear, right? Right after he almost got killed. So now, you know, for me, I'm gonna go off a little bit of a tangent, but I think there are a few things that come from that. I would love to see the rhetoric tonight at the Republican National Convention. I would love to see what the rhetoric is, right? I would love to see if they stay with the same rhetoric of revenge and retribution, or do they go more in on the side of unity, taking the rhetoric down, kind of cooling things down because the rhetoric is heightened, right? But it doesn't strike me. Trump doesn't strike me as somebody who is willing to change his whole plan, right? He's kind of always been the guy to rile people up and to say, America is going to hell. You know, we're in a horrible country right now. Vote for me because I can save this country. So for me, trying to understand what the rhetoric will be after this assassination attempt is going to be interesting to see because um, if Trump now goes on the defense or safe side of things, he might lose some of those. I don't think he would lose them necessarily, but the enthusiasm that he gets from like talking in such a sharp manner, he might not get that anymore, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Um, a few things that will happen as well, I believe, is the reaction that Mike Pence will have to this vice presidential nomination pick. I really want to know what you guys think, by the way. If you are Mike Pence right now, are you kind of going, phew, at least, at least it's not me, right? Because if you say, hang JD Vance, hang JD Vance, hang JD Vance, that kind of got a cool ring to it too. So Mike Pence is probably sitting in the back like, yo, I don't want to have nothing to do with this because hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. That was a chant that they were singing on January 6th, right? So for Mike Pence, he's probably extremely happy because he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. He's probably praying to his Mayo God, Mike Pence and the Mayo God, right? We got Shem God, and we got Charlemagne the God, and we got Mike Pence, the Mayo God. So yeah, I would love to see Mike Pence's reaction as well to that nomination and to the pick, because as you can see, if you become loyal to Donald Trump, only thing that really happens is that it's your downfall. You're kind of signing your death certificate when you get that close to him, because I mean he kind of he's kind of loyal only to himself, right? And it's just not my opinion. Just look at the record of everybody that's close to him. Steve Bannon just reported to prison, so yeah, I'll be interested. But first off, guys, if you're just joining me right now, please go ahead and just hit the like button right here. We're giving you live analysis of everything that's going on, from politics to economics. Welcome to Black Gentleman Media. Right here, we'll be breaking down everything from politics, economics, culture, social issues. We want to give you some content that is really relevant to you. So go ahead and comment as well where you're watching from, so that we can know how far our reach is right now. Okay, so like I said, to me, I think the election was over right after that shot happened. As soon as Donald Trump got shot at, and those pictures emerged of him with blood on his face, I think it was game over. Game over, right? Like, you can't even, unless Joe Biden drops out, Trump already won, right? Because there's just no comparing it. I mean, this is a man, he showed his greatest qualities, which Trump is known for kind of being defiant, for being somebody that doesn't take no shit, right? So, in the face of death, if you can still be that defiant, I think you deserve to be the president of the United States, right? Because the other person might be better than you, but he's not that much better. He's just kind of not as bad, right? But he's not better necessarily. Let me check the chats. Yeah, Trump already won. Yeah, I do believe Trump already won. I mean, did you see the pictures? Like when he came from, like, obviously from getting shot with his fist up in the air with the American flag behind him. That pick is fire, bro. That pick is fire. You cannot lie about that. Democrat needs to get someone else in there. That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. So if it is still just the way it is, right here, where it is Trump versus Biden, and now Trump just got JD Vance on his team. JD Vance, again, my previous video when I went live earlier, I was talking about what JD Vance thought about Trump before, right? Donald Trump, he said, was cultural heroin, I believe. Cultural heroin, right? That is insane to say. But that's what he thought about him. He said he could very well be America's Hitler, right? Like he called Trump America's Hitler. And now he's a vice presidential pick for a running mate, right? Yawn. I'm sorry, I'm boring you. Trump already won. We know he did the photos for a publicity stunt. That's what I'm saying. That look, I really thought that um, it was fake because the pictures were just so hard, bro. Like, like the pic was just so hard, right? So for me, it was kind of like, yo, this has to be a movie. This has to be some kind of stunt, right? And the only thing that changed my mind was because anyone Trump would have picked had a history of talking bad about him. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Anyone Trump would have picked would have had a history of talking bad about him. Let me sit with that for a second. Yeah, maybe that is true because I don't know too many people who are or who have always been great fans of Trump. Anyone, okay, anyone Trump would have picked would have been would have had a history of talking bad about him. You're going to pick him based off of a photo. Not all called him Hitler though. No, look, what I'm saying is you might not care about the photo, right? You might not care too much about, but what it does is it's symbols, right? You might say it's just a photo, but what it does is it lives in the history books, right? That's a photo of defiance, and you don't have to like him, but you have to admit that when someone is willing to bleed for their country, right? You at least give him a shot, right? You at least say, man, I see you working, and I respect that, right? So that's what I'm thinking, and comparatively, Joe Biden doesn't have a spine right now, right? He doesn't really have that flair, that defiance. He's kind of just like robotic, right? That's Joe Biden all day, every day, right? So if you want to compare both of them, you have to look at the guy who is showing defiance literally in the face of death, right? You literally have to do that because it's kind of like, okay, let me keep up with these comments, guys. Give me 1 second here. Coming at anyone that was in that contention. Nikki Haley never called him Hitler. Vance called him Hitler. Willing to bleed. He was a draft dodger. He was a draft dodger. Trump did dodge the draft. But hey, look, I know you get my point. You're just kind of playing devil's advocate. But look, I think he's not necessarily the best guy for the job, right? But but he literally just bled in front of the whole country for the country, essentially, is what he would say, right? Um, so no matter how you feel about him, that it happened, right? It happened. You just saw it happen, right? So you might not like the fact that Trump, you know, is going to be a nominee or whatever, but the whole world just saw him, you know, literally take a bullet for the country. He literally took a bullet for the country, right? Yes, Biden isn't the answer. Stop bringing him up. I do get the points. Just wanted to mess around. Yeah, I know you was just messing around. At least his live feed has a lot real conversation, not someone rambling about their day. Yeah, I do that too sometimes, but uh, I felt I should give you a more substance today, right? Sometimes nobody cares about my ramblings, and I'm outside here in the heat, guys. I'm in New York, so go ahead and comment where you guys are commenting from and where you're watching from, so that we can get a few more people in here. Go ahead and comment where you're commenting from, guys. It would really mean a lot to me so that I know where you guys are from. Leave your flag if you're not from the United States. Um, Let me know what's going on in the country as well. Are you guys going through some kind of turmoil? If you're if you're subscribed to the show, have a nice day. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. If you subscribe, it really does help me out so that I'm able to expand the show, expand the channel. But before you leave, please go ahead and like this video. It will cost you $0, and it helps the channel massively. What's up from Florida? What's up, Florida? What's going on? Where in Florida are you? Miami, Orlando? Where are you right now? And how are things right now? Do people feel a little bit shocked from the news, or is it kind of like? And that's another thing that my friend brought up to me. He said, "Yo, we just had the former president of the United States almost get shot, and it's kind of like just another day, right? Like, isn't that kind of crazy?" Oh, I'm looking up now that I'm outside. I'm sorry. But let me see. Let me see if this is a little bit better. It's just I want to put the camera in a place that I can see it. Oh, what's good? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have family that used to live in Daytona. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to live out there in Daytona, right by the racetrack. That's what's up. That's what's up. Right by the Vince Carter gym that's right there. I used to live out there. Um, But yeah, please go ahead, guys. Like this video, like the stream, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell icon so that when I go live, YouTube can let you know about it. Okay. What I was basically doing in this video is trying to break down for you guys my opinions on. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I know it's probably breaking up. I'm sorry. 1 second. Let's get back in here. Oh. All right. Alright, let's get back to it, guys. But basically, in this video, what I was trying to do is tell you my opinion. The JD Vance pick for vice president. Um, and why I believe that it would be a complete game changer for Donald Trump. Why I believe it is a good pick. Why I believe. Again, I'm not somebody who is a fan of Donald Trump. I'm not MAGA or anything like that. I see Donald Trump's flaws for what they really are, right? Like, and I just feel very sad for the country um, right now because clearly it's extremely divided. And for a 20-year-old to feel like his plan of action or what he's gonna do today. I wonder what he was thinking earlier in that day, right? To go ahead and shoot the former president of the United States. It just shows that we're in a really, really tough place in the United States of America. And as the biggest and the most popular democracy in the world, it's a really like tough time, right? So for me, I feel very, very sad, angry even almost that we're at this point. But I was talking to my friend earlier, and he said, "Yo, isn't it kind of crazy that, like, literally someone almost killed the former president of the United States, and it's like, yeah, it's just another day, right? Like, yeah, like, like it's a big deal, but it's kind of like it's not as big a deal, maybe, right? As like it would have been back in the day when." Things were kind of cordial, civil, and we could just have conversations without wanting to kill each other. But I think a lot of that also is Donald Trump's fault, right? Because his rhetoric is so incendiary. It's so raw, and he's always usually just attacking people. So that's where I was going with the video as well. Is I'm interested in seeing what the Republican National Committee, day 2, where Trump actually speaks. I'm interested in seeing what kind of rhetoric will be, will come out of it, right? Because I don't think he's a type of person who will come out and say, "Kumbaya, let's stay together." You know what I mean? I don't think that's the type of person he is, but it'll be interesting to see it. Okay. So yeah, guys, if you're just joining us here, welcome, welcome, welcome to Black Gentleman Media. Our hope here is to bring you everything from culture, entertainment, politics, news, and make sure that we give you some valuable content that you can take with you, and tips and tricks as well to help you become a better person every day, and most importantly, to bridge the gap for Black young boys, make sure that they can become gentlemen in the future and in a respectful and a kind way. All right, guys. I think that'll be it for me today. This video was basically just to analyze a little bit of my thoughts, a lot more of JD Vance, and why I believe Trump picked him. But other than that, guys, do me a favor, subscribe. Helps me massively, and expand and grow the channel, and keep giving you this content. All right. We're gonna go a little bit more into JD Vance, who is JD Vance, and why it makes sense that Trump picked him. Now, my name is Lloyd. I'll see you guys later. Bye.